Hey guys, Kristen with Expert Credit Sweeps. So I'm going to go over a couple of questions. This is what I'm going over. How does removing personal info help the dispute process? How does it help in obtaining new credit? What would make identity theft illegal? And why doesn't it work on all accounts? Okay, so this is a letter that I put together. This is just fake information, but I'm using my own name, my own address on here. So this is a letter that I send to the bureaus to update personal information. So that would be getting rid of, your misspelled names. This is where you tell them, this is exactly how I want my information to be. And, excuse me. And of course your social would go here, but of course I'm not going to put that on here. So, okay, let's look at this. So, like I said, this is where you're going to tell them, this is all I want on my credit report, nothing else. Right here, I'm disputing my name, any socials that appear incorrectly, okay? And then the addresses, some people have 1,000 of them, so I'm just putting extra ones, phone numbers, employment, and, of course, you include your documents. So then what it should show is when you go pull up your credit report after it's been, disputed, this is what it should look like. And I only left the client's first name, their date of birth, the first part of their address, and the first part of their current and previous employer. So it's all up to the client whether they want the previous employer to even show on here. Sometimes they don't. I recommend that we remove it, but this client actually wanted it to show. So the reason why you only want this information to be on here is because if you have all of this information showing, all of these addresses and phone numbers and socials and names, what's going to happen is that they're going to think that you're irresponsible. Why do you move so much? Okay. Why do you have 28 different addresses? That does not look good. What they want to see is only this. One name. If you were married before, it will show as an AKA, unless you have, of course, gone to the Social Security Administration and you changed it, and sometimes it still sits there. So this is what you want to have it look like on your credit report, with one employer, one name, 1 year of birth, and one address. So when this employer goes to pull your credit, they're going to see, well, this person has lived at such and such address for 31 years. They've been with one employer, and that's it. Okay, that's definitely going to help. Now, another way that it's going to help is that when we remove all of this crap, all of these addresses, all of the socials, all of your phone numbers, and all of these either inaccurate or old employers, any negative account that is associated with this information is going to get removed. So we're going to remove it anyways. It just helps in the process. Okay. So now let's talk about identity theft. All right. So there is the identity theft method. Okay. So with identity theft method, we only use this on clients that have actually been victims of identity theft. I want to make that clear. I'm going to explain it why, but first I'm going to show you what type of an account would show to be one that we can use. Okay, so this is Pacific Credit Services. I did use this same screenshot in my last video. So if you want to look at this, okay, I did remove the account, of course. So right here, balance amount is $793, data status 10/15, which shows that it's been updated 2/12. This is inconsistent anyways. So it looks like this person has never paid this collection. All right. So with identity theft, if someone stole your identity and they opened up an account, why would you have made a payment on it? So any account that has had a payment, we will not dispute that unless you can prove that that account doesn't belong to you. This one right here is a perfect example of one that we would dispute. I can see that they have not made a payment, especially when you click on show details, which I'm not going to do. and that it's in collection. I know who the original creditor was, and I'm going to dispute this. It's going to be removed within 4 business days, and it's not going to re-report because it does not belong to this client. So if you do dispute items that do belong to you with the identity theft method, I'm going to show you what happens. Now, I want to show you this police report. So when you do the identity theft method, you have to make an FTC report, you have to make a police report, and then you have to say all of these accounts or whatever ones you're disputing do not belong to me. They were opened fraudulently. So this is a real police report. The guy went in, made a police report to the officer, and he disputed every single account on his credit. Okay, so these are all inquiries right here. More inquiries, Equifax inquiries, TransUnion inquiries, Experian accounts, Equifax accounts, TransUnion accounts, and then personal information. Okay, so I really shouldn't even have to explain why this is just not going to cut it. What happened was this client was able to get all of these accounts removed except for a couple of them. So once we removed those remaining few, what happened was they actually got put back on his credit. Okay, so this is what happens when the account actually belongs to you, or they think that it belongs to you, and they relist it. So this is a letter that I sent because they relisted the Upstate Network collection account that he had said did not belong to him. So then they took it off. Then they put it back on. So these 3 things came back on. So this is another account. It was previously removed, and then it's been relisted. This account does not belong to me and is fraudulent. And of course, all of the inquiries, they're all in the police report. They must come off and be blocked within 4 business days. Okay, so at the end of it, that account did come off. The Upstart or Upstate, whatever it was, did come off, and the personal information was updated. So, it really makes it into a process when you tell us that something actually doesn't belong to you, and it does. You can get in trouble. Okay, filing a police report that is false. All of this information, I cannot guarantee that these accounts did not belong to this client. I mean, just looking at this, how was someone able to open all these accounts? All right. It's a crime. You can go to prison for filing a false police report. This is why we only do this for clients that have, in fact, been a victim of identity theft. You guys really need to think about the consequences. That's why with our method, it is permanent. You see how some of these were just temporary deletions and they came back on, and it caused a lot of issues for us. So 3 to 6 months, it sounds like a long time, but your stuff didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to come off overnight, but they are permanent deletions. I'm not going to have to write this letter saying, hey, why'd you relist this? And then another letter saying, hey, why'd you relist this one? And then waiting for this to happen. So if you have any more questions, give me a call. Use the live chat on the website. Email is Kristen@expertcreditsweeps.com. Website is expertcreditsweeps.com. Have a great evening, guys.